Howdy, y'all. Welcome to episode 38 of Unfinished Business. My name's Taylor, joined as always by Matt, Corey, and shout out to Tyler coming in straight after swim practice. No time off. The man's busy, but we got him for a whole hour for this podcast. We're going to talk about
fast as heck,
Ledgestone.
boy.
He's fast. We're going to talk about Ledgestone, Gannon, Burr, and Holland Hanley taking that one down. Talk about the course, the event in general, maybe touch on the spotter gate that we've got again this weekend. We've got
Another
a buy-sell segment, as always. We're going to talk about what we look for in disc golf courses, and we got a little game to wrap it up in the end, as always. But kick us off with Ledgestone. I would love to just hear everybody's main takeaway from the event, and I'm selfish, and I would like to go last. So whoever's up first, hit them with it.
Matt.
All right, here's my takeaway. Isaac Robinson's eagle in was pretty sick. Watched that live. That was cool to see. The course is cool. There's a couple weird things. Like one of the last couple holes, it was a big forehand for most players where there's just a random building like 35 feet from the basket, and we have OB right behind the building. And in my head, I'm like, why don't we just move that OB the extra 4 feet to not have players putting from behind a random porta potty looking establishment there, you know? But the course was fun, and it provided some tension, especially at the beginning of the day for Gannon Burr. You know, did he double bogey the second hole or triple bogey the second hole?
I think
Double the second.
Yeah.
Double the second hole. But
Like
I mean,
a 3-putt.
yeah, but in Gannon Burr fashion, he just came back like nobody's business there. But I had fun with the tournament. Yeah, a couple weird little things, but that's my general consensus. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll say something. First, I'll say shout out Matt's haircut.
Looking great. Looking great.
Yep. Second thing I'll say is I felt like Ledgestone was pretty boring. I watched a lot of it. Some live, some post-production. But it seems like we just have more things to complain about more than ever after a tournament. And when you have more things to complain about after a tournament, it's usually not a good thing. And a lot of people, I guess we're hearing it's a C-tier event now. They just played at Eureka Lake the whole time. Some people are getting bored of it. I'm kind of getting bored of like the straight-up 300-foot shot that some of these guys were throwing over and over again. I know they tried to keep an OB behind it to protect these holes, but it feels like we need a change. And I know that Nate Heinold is a big part of disc golf, and like this is his baby. But Corey can attest to this. In a couple weeks, we are going to absolutely shred next season's schedule and spend an entire episode in about 2 weeks of figuring out the schedule that disc golf should be on. And on my schedule that I've been working on so far, spoiler alert, you can skip this part if you don't want to hear this. I don't have Ledgestone on my calendar for my schedule. That's what I think about this tournament at this point. It's kind of like outdated. They've actually been marking up the tee pads because it's so outdated. I heard one hole was like 315. I think it was like hole 15. Excuse me. And they marked it to say like 359. Like everything just seems so outdated. So that's my main takeaway. I have a bunch of details about it, but I'll what do you say? I'll yield my time.
Can I ask, would you feel that way if we were still playing 2 rounds at Northwood?
No,
you wouldn't feel that way. Yeah. So the big thing that everyone's probably mentioning in this is we're not playing.
I'm sorry. I said that wrong. I would still feel that way. I'm saying I wouldn't change my mind about it.
Okay, you would still feel that way. Okay,
yeah,
that's interesting.
I'm kind of done with it. I'm not gonna lie.
I would say the opposite. I would say it's kind of weird, especially being just Eureka, and especially being they had like little pin changes that like made no real difference in my head, or made very little difference in my head. Yeah. That it was just like too little, too late. But no, yeah, that's my thought. Corey or Taylor, thoughts?
I like the course, but as a person who wants to go play it, like I believe Tyler is right when it's like it's not for the pros to play anymore. It's too easy of a course. It's too open of a course. There's not enough room for them to be able to put OB and Hazard to where it like challenges the pros too much. I mean, there was was it round 1 or round 2? Gannon almost goes OB by hitting a pavilion and then just rockets it through the pavilion to basically under the basket. So
still a nice shot though, but yeah,
it's nice, but it shouldn't be that easy to like manage through human built obstacles like that. And I do want to play it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to play that course, but I don't think the pros should. And the one takeaway that I would say is I think it's time to retire the water tower. It's too easy.
I have more things to say about this, but I want everyone to get their take before I start stealing everybody's.
No, yeah, and I was going to say, I selfishly wanted to go last because mine's honestly less of a Ledgestone takeaway and more of like a Ledgestone narrative takeaway that I've always thought, especially about Eureka Lake. And that's that, especially after the tournament, like Philo and a bunch of people were really comparing this, like, okay, who's doing well at Ledgestone? Who's going to take that into Worlds? And like, this is a Worlds preview, like who's going to play well there because of this? For me, Eureka Lake is an incredible preview event, but it is not for Worlds. And I'll tell you who has done well at this course specifically. I took a list of Paul, Chris Dickerson, Gannon, and Nate Sexton have had a lot of success at this course. For those at home, what's the common denominator in those guys?
Tennessee.
Old.
USDGC champions. So also we have in that list Kyle Klein playing well here. Kevin Jones made his name at USDGC, showed up at the top 5 at this event. This course specifically for me is an incredible preview of what we're going to see at USDGC just because they play very similarly. Eureka is just a little bit worse in that it's a lot of ropes, a lot of course management, doesn't look great, but that's my main takeaway that I think we're going to see these results and like I think you could just copy and paste them for the most part in USDGC. That's my main thing, obviously not super related to Ledgestone. I'll transition to another point I had right away just because, Tyler, this was kind of your main takeaway. I've seen Snooze Fest as like the main descriptor of this event. So I had just the blanket question to start. What do you think this event was underwhelming?
Okay, so let me say something right off the bat. Okay, we just came from Europe where they have 2 different style courses. One, you have to hit a certain type of shot shape that is different than all the other holes. It's not the same shot shape that you can throw on this hole or that hole, right? Which is really cool. The other style is they have low ceiling shots. At Ledgestone, it felt like you could hyzer or throw this big anhyzer shot on every single hole, or just a straight shot. None of that has to do with having to curve your disc in a certain direction. It's not challenging to the pros. And honestly, like after we went to Europe and now we're back in the States, like I'm quite annoyed that we can't watch that style of disc golf that we watched in Europe because that's just not how we do courses here in the United States. And Eureka Lake is not really a disc golf course, in my opinion. It's they put it together and whatnot, and there's no challenge to it. There's no shot shape. We gotta change it, dude. I'm really sick of it. So underwhelming, extremely underwhelming. Smash.
I'm really excited for 2 weeks from now when we get to talk about.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to schedule the entire thing. I think we should also throw in like any changes that we get to make. We're going to act like we're the CEOs of the Pro Disc Golf Tour in like 2 weeks because we'll have nothing to talk about because we'll have an off week.
Yeah, I would just say I like watching it. Corey, I agree wholeheartedly with what you said. I personally think Eureka Lake, that course would be very fun for me to play. I also don't think a fun course for me to play should be the blueprint for a Disc Golf Pro Tour course. I think it's hard to really judge it just with obviously Champions Cup taking Northwoods. I do see in hindsight why they didn't want both courses to be used when we just saw Northwoods 4 rounds in a row at Champions Cup.
In Heinold's site?
In Nate Heinold's site.
I see what you did there.
But I don't think it would have mattered that much. I still think we would have loved to see pros out playing at Northwood. I will say Ledgestone has some incredible things going for it. Obviously, one of the largest purses on tour all year. Also, the only stop we have ever that just has a specifically designed FPO course, not layout course, which is very nice for their division. I know the FPO loves this event for that. But yeah, I think Eureka Lake kind of reminds me in a sense of Memorial in that like we've moved past it. We're a little too big boys now for Eureka Lake.
Matt, you got anything?
No, I agree. I do. Yeah, I think you're right. I think specifically a different course for FPO than MPO, like just allows more flexibility in everything. If there's weather delays, it allows more flexibility. If there's, setup for stuff, it allows more flexibilities, more distance between cards, like all that goes into also just having a better experience for the FPO. And it's just added benefits of moving towards let's have 2 separate courses for these people.
Yeah, and I'll say real quick too, like shout out to Nate Heinold, obviously working incredibly hard on Champions Cup Worlds this event. Maybe we shouldn't put somebody in a spot where they're running 2 majors and one of the largest pro tours of the season. Maybe we should rethink that part a little bit, Dr. PDGA.
They hit like a record amount of attendees at this event, apparently too. So
yeah, and I mean, I really don't even want to go away from Ledgestone as a whole because I don't know if you guys have ever been to that area. They have a ton of really good disc golf courses in that area. Like I feel like we could figure something out that's not the Eureka Temp course.
I have extended family members that live like right there, and when I looked up the courses and they were telling me about the courses when they came out here, I was like, bro, that's a spot right there.
I got a question for you guys. If they put the OB on hole 1 to where you had to land just on the top shelf, how many pros do you think are hitting that? If they were aiming for the shelf.
I think 40%. They could. I think it's 50.
You think so? That shelf is pretty. I mean, I think it's only like 20 feet.
I mean, are we talking about anything that's not like on like a D grade? Like that's OB?
Yeah, like if you know how everyone was landing like down the hill.
Well, like if you way just down the hill.
Yeah, but if you put a line where it's like from the water, maybe like 20, 25 feet, and then it's just a strip. So you could lay up. In theory,
I thought we were taking out 50% of that area. I mean, I'd say it's pretty slim, like 20%. I get pretty.
Yeah, that would be tough, especially if it got windy at all. That would be real tough.
I think what they would need to do is make it more like an island where it's like there's like an OB strip. So like if you have to go straight, and if you go left, it's OB. That way, it makes you have to have a more difficult upshot.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, or what if they made it, like a almost a peninsula green where a big piece of that, that was out of bounds. Yeah, that would be really cool.
I'm down for that. So I want to give a quick shout out to Holland Hanley. She killed it this weekend.
Yeah, I also had that in my note. She won that, and also at the USDGC course, she had her win there. Yeah, shout out to Holland. Played really well.
Yeah, she's putting really well too. Like that was my biggest thing that I said early in the season is. If she ever figures out that putt, she's gonna win. So I put on I commented somewhere with our Instagram account, like, this is a new era, and they're like, what kind of era is this? And I was like, bro, I'm not even gonna comment back.
Finish line era.
Yeah, I mean, we got like a whole new and also like some people are getting all upset. Sorry, I gotta adjust my seat. People are getting all upset. I heard about like calling Holland a favorite. That's what I heard. Which she has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, anytime Holland just looks more athletic than every player, a lot of players that are out there, dude, you have to think like if that ability comes together, she's just going to have more consistency and all that.
Yeah. I got one like mini question. Yes or no for the group. Is Holland a larger threat to Kristen at Worlds than Missy?
At Worlds, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think at those courses, yes, because I don't think Missy has the distance.
Yeah. Hole 1, I think Missy takes it down every time. But
I mean, even Ivy, like obviously New London's long, and Ivy's like 12,000 feet. Like Ivy is a long course.
Holland's gonna shred that course with her vulture. She's like the best vulture throw I've ever seen. She throws it on like a laser, and it doesn't completely fade out. So she's gonna go vulture whole time. She's gonna shred that course. I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to talk about the spotter thing while I pull the points up? You might have thoughts on the spotter thing.
I don't know what he was doing. Looked like he was trying to kickflip over it. I mean, what was he doing?
Is there a vetting process to like who can be a spotter?
No, there ain't anyone with a warm body to getting on the pro tour, brother. Yeah,
no, but any other spotter is going to get out of the way. Like this is the one person that thought, like, what was he thinking? Like he was going to jump over it?
Dude, I don't know.
It looked like was the plan.
Yeah, something along those lines. Oh my goodness, it was so zesty. But dude, it's just at this point, I can't even be mad about it anymore. I just has to be funny because everyone says like if there's something unfair on the course, it's unfair for everyone. That guy's the exception, bro.
I was going to say, Scott, I do agree. I don't think it's wholeheartedly the spotters' fault. And one, thank you to the spotters and volunteers for all the events for going out there and making the sport better. Optically, really tough, though. I mean, I think it is kind of hard to judge that roller because it hit a couple things on the ground and redirected a little bit. But also, like, you're by a tree anyway. Just be behind the tree, brother. And I think one thing to think about, too, especially with the Ledgestone, is there's a lot of fairways back and forth. Like I'm sure there was another hole next to where he was spotting as well that he's kind of worried about disc coming in from that side. But what started me on this rant is I hate when people say specifically about spotters that it's a part of the course, because it's not, because he's not in that spot every time, right? It's not like a picnic table or something that you can say like, this is part of the course. If you hit it too bad, it's a roaming part of the course. So it definitely introduces a little entropy in there to where it's not a static environment.
Yeah, I want to say two things real quick. One, Scott, I do agree with you that if you throw a roller and it goes out of bounds and it hits a spotter, that's your fault because you should not be able to throw a roller out of bounds, in my opinion. So I am down for that. Now, I will say the spotter clearly saw the disc coming right at him and just tried to jump. So I mean, he could have dodged it easily, but yeah, I don't think you should be able to throw rollers through the out of bounds and get advantage of it. But that's part of disc golf as well. So take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sick. Well, I've got our points update up. Corey back to some winning ways here. Took Gannon, got the 3 points, and also our guy Calvin Lung for the dark horse for 1 point. Tyler got a point for Calvin and Ezra, and also got a disc for Calvin. We'll talk about that some more in a second. Matt going over, unfortunately, almost got some with Kyle Klein, but for not. And then I was really excited early, especially. I thought I had some good picks, but just Chris Dickerson for a point for me. Why don't we talk about this bet and the disc that we have trading hands this week?
So I think Taylor, you're really a big proprietor of why this bet went down. I mean, because I said, hey, we should have a bet. And then Taylor was like, yeah, you got to get a disc from Foundation
Just plug in our sponsor, foundationdisc.com.
We did not get a disc from Foundation. I will say that. Sorry. But,
right.
When the tournament started, we had said, hey, or before the tournament, we said, Matt had this preposterous thing where he had Matty O and Kyle Klein above Calvin. And I said, all right, fine. You got some others above Calvin I don't agree with. But if you're so confident in your list, you will bet that those two guys will finish above Calvin Heimberg. Well, I was getting pretty nervous coming down that last day. I even said, Matt, I'm going to get you a disc Sunday afternoon early. And then Calvin did Calvin stuff at the end and got it done. So Matt owed me a disc. And this is the disc we got right here, guys. The Surge SS. So shout out to Matt, man of his word. But
Respect
Matt,
that.
don't do stupid stuff anymore. Okay?
If you haven't seen, go back to our last episode and at least go look at Matt's top 10 because it is fraudulent.
Oh, it's good. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Most unhinged.
Matt's uncle got on and defended it. It was a whole thing.
I straight up forgot what me and Tyler did the bet on, and then Tyler hit me on. I just assumed I'd lose. Like I was like, and then Tyler hits me up on Sunday. And he goes, "Looks like you might win this thing or something." And I'm like, "Wait, what's the bet again?" And he was like, that Kyle Klein and Matty O finish above Calvin Heimberg, and I'm like,
"Where's lucky Matty? For you, Matty O didn't play."
I was like, "Where's Matty O? I don't even see him on the list." And he's like, "He's not playing." I was like, "That actually helps me out there." And then Kyle Klein almost did it, but
yeah,
pooped himself.
Bro pooped himself. Kyle Klein has been on.
Bad
He has
last
been
round.
on enough lead cards to not look like he's gonna poop himself at the end of every round. What is? He's been on a decent, like even at the preserve this year, he was on. Am I tripping or was he on lead last round?
I have no idea, but he is using a new putter now. He's using the Notion.
Yeah.
I took a picture of it and I was like, wait a second, and I blew it up, and I was like, he's putting with new putter. Why would he do that?
Yeah, that's a zesty move there. Which
I would think that putter, the Notion, I think is a big difference from the P2, which I thought he was putting with.
He's putting with
Either
Logix,
P2
I think, but I
was
do
he-
not
Okay,
know
that's what I
Logix
thought
is like.
too.
I don't know if you guys saw this on the broadcast the final day. You could see on one of the fairways him and Brian Earhart having a pretty like extended conversation down one of the fairways, and not too long after that, Ian, and he throws it to Brian as often as possible, was trying to say like, hey, well, like how's Kyle doing? He's obviously having a terrible round. Like how's it going? And Brian starts laughing and said, yeah, Kyle came up to me and just asked, does everyone have days like this? It's like you gotta feel bad for Kyle, man.
That actually sucks.
I mean, he had like a terrible once again 3-putt from like 25 feet.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm just sitting there. I'm just asking you. I'm like, Kyle, please do something.
just make
here.
one of
Do
these.
something.
Make one of these.
And every one of them is like right on the edge of his range, or not his range, but right on the edge of like where it's super comfortable. And then the putt on the forehand hole with that little water or that little building in it was just the worst bid I've ever seen on my entire life. Like I was just like, oh, I'm losing this frisbee today. And
the one thing I will say, the backtrack a little bit, is the lead group played terrible the first like couple holes.
Yes.
Like they were so bad. I'm like, this is the reason why the tournament is starting to turn lackluster. Is that these guys are playing terrible. Nobody wanted to win.
The play did not help. I was going to mention that as well. Like Gannon definitely gave up some strokes early, and it just felt like nobody was there. All right, here's my actual main takeaway that I forgot about now that I have Ezra Robinson staring at me on the screen. How long are we going to give Ezra to like learn to play a final round? Because like
he played pretty decent though.
I've had that like excuse in my head for like a year now. Where like Ezra, man, he's climbing. He's just got to learn. He's got to close one out, and I feel like every time he's not close.
It just feels like Gannon gave up 2 strokes in 2 holes, and then if someone went birdie the first 2 holes, you could have made up 4 strokes and it could have been a different ball game. But Gannon was just too far ahead, and then he went
and it's on the nuclear on the back 9. Yeah,
and then he went 9 of 10 coming down the last 10 holes. I mean, and the only reason why he got a par on that one hole is because he went OB.
Yeah.
And then he stepped up, parked it, and then made the putt for par. I mean, that could have been a birdie if it stayed in bounds, and it barely went out of bounds.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, pretty interesting tournament. Honestly, there's a lot you could say about it, but I'm super excited for this week. So.
Yeah, same. I would say that's all we have on Ledgestone. That may be podcast history, one of the shortest we've ever talked about one of the active events, but I feel like there was not a lot to talk about. Gannon won by a lot, and it was kind of boring. There you go.
I feel like we gotta give a quick shout out to the slip and slide. That's the
Shout
most
out to the
important
slip and
thing.
slide.
Oh yeah.
Most important thing about
Definitely.
Sunday was the slip and slide.
Dude, that's the kind of stuff that should exist to make people want to attend in person, just because it's funny and a different way to see the pros. But then we gotta flex it on the broadcast. Like
It's got to take up like 20 minutes on the podcast.
Holy dude. Also, did anyone see a single MP? No, well, it was at sunset, so it shouldn't even. Yeah, forget that. Unrelated. I'm dumb. But no, yes. Shout out to the slip and slide.
All right.
Well,
What
with
we got
that,
next?
we're going to move into buy and sell. So I'll let Corey decide this time. Do we want to start with buys or sells?
Let's start with some buys.
All right, mine's quick and easy. We cut out the section where we talk about ourselves, but I'm going to make my buy that and say that I'm buying First Throw Aces because that was sick this last weekend. If you don't know, I went to a bachelor party, just brought my all 4 Nexuses that I own out there with me and a buddy to go play a short 9-hole course. Walked up, little 5-minute walk to the course from the Airbnb, threw the first one in the basket. Sickest thing of my life.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Shout out me.
Absolutely great. When you were like, guys, and then you're like, and then you explained it in our group chat, I was like, Oh my gosh.
That was
It's
wild.
amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
Mainly
awesome.
there, I had a lot of pressure to be the first one to ace with my signature disc. That was adding up since I've had it for basically a year now. So
It'd be so
That-
funny
that
if all
pressure's
three of
off.
us were like, "Oh, we
well,
already
actually,
did."
it was like months ago. He just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I have to bag Corey's torque and I have to ace with it before he does. Like that. I was trying to do it for
Next
you.
challenge.
All right.
I gotta get Corey.
All right, who else got by?
I'm buying multiple pin placements per hole. I think that is such a good idea.
Goodbye.
It spices things up. One thing on Jomez that Big Germ was talking about was how cool it would be to have a different pin placement as a par 3 on hole 1 that is like on the far right side. So it's like the closest part of the water, and you kind of either run it, and if you miss, you're either in the water or you're down the hill, and that would be so cool. I also really liked, I can't remember what hole it was, but the island hole where they made the second pin placement a sliver.
Yeah,
That
17.
was so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that was so cool. I love how small they made that, and I love how like ununiform. It was just like a weird dagger shape. So good.
How about hole 10 making the out of bound markers look like a penis? You guys know what I'm talking about?
You're buying this or what?
Dude, he has
No,
that-
I'm just bringing it up.
Hey, local shop, you could get some advertising from a specific kind of local store.
They on coverage they zoomed out to look over hole 10 and then they realized what it looked like and immediately cut the scene.
I missed that. I'm gonna have to go back. That's only
Yeah, I'm gonna have
incredible.
to look at that again. That sounds hilarious.
It looks like a balls in a penis. I'm not kidding.
Shout out to whoever decided that. We got the green that looks like the state of Iowa and a green that looks like something else. Use our 10% off code at manscaped.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
Manscaped. If I hear another Manscaped comment, geez Louise. All right, my turn. I am buying KJ USA, dude.
Yeah, I feel like we did not give KJ enough praise in the Ledgestone segment. Shout out Kevin.
Got a top 5, played really well on Sunday. I feel like he is like right there. I hope he gets on feature card at Idlewild. And that'd be really cool to put him on there because I want to see how he's playing with his Innovadisc and how he's looking. But dude is trending, man. And I tell you right now, it looks like he's putting with the Invaders now. He talked about it in his In the Bag video about messing around with them. It looks like he's putting with the Invaders, which is very strange to me because nobody putts with him. But yeah, I'm buying Kevin, dude. I really hope I don't want him to win Ottawa. I want him to play well, which means he could play well at Worlds. That's a Heiser flip. New London is a Heiser flip place. Definitely. So could be up Kevin's alley.
Yeah, definitely so. I agree. I think I'm down to my buy. I'm buying easier courses, I should say. So I talked about this I was at a course the other day that's building itself to be a championship level course, but it's on state park property. So the second you roll into the park, you hear signs about a disc golf course. And so the chance is that you roll up, like random person goes, that looks fun. I'm with my family on vacation. Why don't I go try this out? And then you whoopsie daisy play a championship level course that is in progress and is really, really agitating. And you never play disc golf again. What I'm buying is this course specifically immediately slapped in at the exact same time they built the other one. It's already done actually. A 9-hole learn to play or a 6-hole learn to play loop where you can go play for like 30, 40 minutes. And like, that's what they tell, like, hey, if you're someone working at the park, suggest that a new disc golfer does not go and play the championship level layout or they're going to die in the woods. So shout out to that. But then also shout out if you're traveling or something and you see like a really hard course, I always opt into the really hard course because it's got good reviews probably and it looks really cool. And then it takes me 4 hours and I'm dying by the time I'm done. And then I play some easy course and it's the most fun course I've played in that time frame. So I just like those courses that are your everyday play. Is what I'll call them. I'm buying more of those.
I like that.
Love that.
I'll buy that.
I agree.
He'll buy that.
I'll take a buy at that.
Yeah.
Anybody have a sell they're particularly interested in leading off with? I'll go ahead. I'm fired up. I'm fired up about myself, so I'll go ahead. I am selling. This could be controversial. I am selling Ganon Burr hype right now. I'm over it. I'm annoyed, bro. We've got.
Come on, Matt. Say your line, Matt.
No.
Say your line, Matt. Come on.
I don't even know what my line is.
Speak to that, Taylor.
Yeah, speak to that, Taylor.
We've got
that is actually valid.
We got Ian and Philo after Ledgestone basically directly asking Ganon if he thinks he could be the GOAT, if he thinks he's going to be the GOAT. We've got Trevor crazy, over on Twitter saying this is going to be the best season of all time in disc golf. And everybody wants to talk about Paul's 2015 season, like 10 years ago, basically. Obviously, yes, that was a dominant season. People are not putting enough respect on 2019 Paul. So I looked it up, all right? 2019 Paul played 14 events, 9 first places, 1 finish outside of the top 10, which was USDGC, which he got hurt, placed 64th, and his average finish was still 6th. He was insane that year.
That's
Paul
true.
got first or second at Worlds for over half the time that Ganon Burr has been alive.
That's true.
Put some respect on my GOAT. That's all I'm saying.
Mic drop. That's pretty big.
I agree. That's pretty big.
I don't know about the whole Ganon hype thing. I think the Ganon hype should be respected, but the fact that people are asking him about him being the GOAT, that's ludicrous and stupid.
Yeah, especially because how much closer will Ganon be to the GOAT when he's actually had more than like 2 seasons of touring? Imagine Ganon when he's 27. Like, that's a crazy question to ask Ganon at whatever, 19 or 18, when we could ask it then. But no.
Yeah, and I mean, still, like, obviously, Eagle came up super young. People thought Eagle was going to be insane. And he's won. Yeah. Eagle's been really good, but also you can get hurt. Like, you can tear your labrum. Like, things happen. You can, it's not all guaranteed.
You can throw a really stupid shot.
Good.
Yeah. Or you could hurt your back while grabbing groceries. So there's a lot of options available.
Inevitable, man. The back's inevitable.
Or you could sign for MVP. Oh. I'm just kidding.
All right, cool. Taylor, good one. We'll take it. A little fired up. Who wants next?
So hold on. I want to mention this in the chat. Scott says he's selling disc golf ever being taken seriously.
Scott, I had a really good question written for this, and then I got destroyed by the actual programming. So the world may never know.
I want to just speak to that for a minute. I don't know what I think. How do I say this? I don't know what I want disc golf to be personally for like the pro level. I feel like it should be structured and well run. So does that mean serious? I don't know, but it should be well run where it's like a well-oiled machine where people know what's happening and what you're doing. That's what I want pro disc golf to be. Corey, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I think the issue is the fact that the only thing we're focused about adding money to is the purse and not the actual like structure of the disc golf tournament. Probably because a lot of these pros have been playing for so long that they don't care because they've had literally no cameras and all of a sudden now they have some cameras.
Yeah.
And there's all these things that we can add that doesn't take that much money, to be honest. And it's an investment. So it's not like we're losing the money all of a sudden. If you buy a few more cameras, you're going to have those cameras for a while.
Yeah.
So we can use them.
Yeah. And Scott, to this point, I feel like half the time that people say they don't want disc golf to ever be taken seriously is they don't want to have to go on the course in nice clothes, or they don't want to have they don't want to have to be formal or something like that. They don't want to have you roll up to the course and like not be able to play with the 3 random Joe Schmoes you've never met in your life and you'll never meet again. And like, no one's saying those have to leave, but I'm fine with disc golf ever being taken seriously, selling that, but I'm fine with buying the pro tour being taken seriously. And that's a unique thing in my head, at least. But
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like casual disc golf doesn't have to change, but a little bit more professionalism on the professional tour would absolutely be nice.
Like
Yeah.
they should be able to have structures in place. This is what I mean by structure, Scott, is that they have the infrastructure put in place to when you show up to the course, you know what's supposed to happen and the time and everything that's going on. And I don't know if we have that or not. I went to Worlds last year, seemed very structured, very well put together, and it seemed like everyone knew what was going on. So Worlds might be a different story, but the Pro Tour, I don't know. It just feels like it can be done better. Also, I think it needs to be better courses, and we got to let people come watch disc golf. So those are just a quick.
Yeah, I was just say, Corey, I think you make a great point where like all the focus for so long has been like, we need more money. We need to get more money. How do we get more money? Like, how do we make purses bigger? And I think I'm heartened to hear about, if you haven't heard it, Nate Heinel did a really good interview on Ultiworld about things around Worlds, how Worlds is shaping up. And it sounds like Worlds is going to be this year like an incredible spectator event, which is where I think that money should be going. I think we need to make it more fun, more accessible, and more exciting to actually go to these tournaments. And then everything, I think, from there will fall in line. 'Cause it's a lot easier to convince a sponsor to give you money when they go and watch your event, and it's not 20 people walking around the woods. It's, families going out, having a good time. Even if you don't want to go follow the event, we have a vendor village, stuff going on, food trucks, things like you can bring your family to. They have fun. If I want to go follow the lead card as the person that's into disc golf, I can do that too. But it needs to be more exciting and accessible for a broader group of people than just, the 98% white male, Omega in the woods all the time people that we have right now.
Yeah, that might be my sell is the influx of white people who play disc golf. I want to see some. I want to see some black people and all kinds of different people. Like we need to get more diverse in the disc golf.
Maybe some women. Other than
we don't have a single do we have a single black guy on tour that plays?
Shout out Philo.
Other than Philo,
before you said that plays. Shout out Philo.
Yeah, I know. We gotta get it, man.
Maybe so.
I mean, speaking of what you just said though, like imagine we have like a couple giant screens, or like at least a screen with like a projector on it or something of like they have it like golf events at Worlds, or next to a couple holes, you have like a giant screen that tells you who's putting, what their score is, and also has a leaderboard of what everyone's doing. That way, everyone who's spectating can see what's going on and not have to look down at their phone all the time and be distracted.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. I don't know how far away we are from doing something like that. So, I don't know.
Yep.
Matt, you have a sell?
Does anyone else have a sell?
I do.
I can go last if you need to. Mine's short.
Shout out to that guy who introduced you to disc golf, Scott.
Yeah.
I do, but it's a really weird sell.
All right, go ahead.
And it's like a
Sell
good
me
thing,
on
but
it.
a bad thing. I'm selling using your phone on the course at all.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay.
I have been watching and listening to a lot of people talk about how you don't want to be on your phone, but then the second you go on the course, you have to pull up UDisc, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I understand it's an amazing tool. I use UDisc every day, whether it's looking at new courses or going on the GPS to know which hole is next, which direction and everything like that, or just simply putting in your score. But there is something very peaceful about pulling out a little notebook and a pen and writing down your score, especially if you know the course, so you know the pars and everything like that. There is something very peaceful about just pulling it out, flipping to the page, and writing down, because you can keep notes. You can write down tally of all of your shots and everything like that. Keep little scribbles about, they could do this to this course or this hole or whatever. It's just, it's very nice. So I think you should at least try to do it once this summer and give it a try. Obviously you could have your phone on you. I'm not like crazy, but yeah, there's something. Going analog is beautiful.
I want to say when I go play disc golf, I'm almost never using UDisc ever.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I like going out. I mean, I know where I'm playing, I know where I'm going, so I can keep score in my head, which is what I normally do. Unless I'm playing with a group of people and we're playing for a competition, then we use UDisc. But other than that, I never ever use it. So
Well, I just mean like I've been to a lot of courses. I've been to a lot of new courses, and using the GPS to find out where the next hole is really nice. Yeah. And I'm not gonna ever stop doing that. But it's being able to just stay off your phone.
Take a little Sunday morning course, or keep your score on paper. Listen to the birds. Yeah. Have a good time, man.
I really didn't give a sell. I kind of was joking, but kind of serious. Like I do wish we had more like diversity on the disc golf course. I think that'd be really cool. But I'll give a quick sell. I'm selling the entire MVP company right now. Actually, I'll say this: MVP Pros, all of them. MVP Pros. Paul Kranz, where's he been? I haven't seen him
in Massachusetts.
I haven't seen him. Haven't heard of him. Where's Simon been?
Had a kid.
Right, and then where's Eagle?
Haven't you only played like once? Since your kid?
I have, but
so shut up.
He's a pro.
So shut up.
But disc golf is his job. Is he not going to his job? I go to my job every day, but even though I have kids. Also,
Simon wins Worlds this year.
I'm not done. Sorry. I'm not done. James Conrad. Where's James Conrad at?
Okay.
I'm not done. I'm not done. This is my segment. I'm not done. So
it's my time.
All the MVP pros are non-existent. What is going on with them? Like, I feel like last year we heard all the hype about all their discs, and now they have discs coming out, or they already have come out, and I didn't even hear about it. So, very interesting about how all these pros, I wonder if it's affecting their sales or not. So that's all I'm going to say.
I'd like to talk on this one.
Your turn.
So Simon, yes, he is not caring right now, and I think it's just he's overly excited about having a child. When he does play, I would say 75% of the time he's showing up like hard. So
I don't know if he's playing that well, to be honest. I really don't think he is. I don't think he is. I mean, he won one tournament, but other than that, he's been.
And how many did he win last year? 2.
Is it 2?
Yeah, that's it. So
but he hasn't been in it other than that one tournament.
He's been in it. He's been on lead card and stuff. He just falls apart. But so does everybody. James Conrad, no offense to him, he's a one-hit wonder. Literally one hit.
Well, he wasn't supposed to be. He won USDGC. Champion. Yeah.
But 2-hit wonder. Okay, yeah.
Debated.
Sorry, I forgot about the other ballad on his other album. Like he's not.
I would like to say 2 words.
I don't think he's that good at being that consistent.
Silva Sarnen.
Silva's great.
Okay. But you know what?
That's because Tyler's sexist and he never thinks about the women.
No, I knew about her, but if I talked about her, it would go against what I just said, so I can't bring her up.
It's a fine line.
Sexist. That is sexist.
All right.
No, it's a great point, though. I feel like the Simon and Eagle, especially early Simon, like I genuinely had so many people that have never had no idea what MVP was, and I to this day now bag like 70% overmolded discs. Like somebody needs to do a study on that marketing effort because it was incredible.
Yeah, it was. All right, so Simon is placing in Elite Series 17th, 76, 16, 27, 5th, 1st. 14, 21, a major 36, and then at European Festival 8th. So other than his win, his 2 best finishes are 5th and 8th. I don't know. For me, I think he could have a better season.
The best thing an MVP sponsored MPO professional has done this season is Eagle's song about his signature disc.
100%.
So that's the most impact that they've had.
Simon's only won prize money a little less than $20,000. And
with $10 million, I don't care.
I know you don't, but I'm saying like that's the kind of season he's having. It's not that good, in my opinion. And 10,000 of it came from a win. So that's just my opinion.
I also think that everyone
is super mean.
Super angry all the time. No, I think everyone looks at the season that we are playing currently and it's an end all be all. Like Paul is washed. Like Gannon is the best player in the world. Like Simon doesn't exist anymore. And it's literally one season.
Yeah.
So I'm just chilling. I'm waiting for whatever happens.
Got his mucho mango and he's chilling, guys.
Listen, I'm a big Simon fan, and I'm the same way about it too. But to prove my point with MVP, no one's played well this year for MVP. So, pros, poo-poo.
Maybe so. I don't know.
MVP pros are bad. You heard it here first. We're going to segue into our last little talking point. Shout out to Matt for coming up with this little question while I pull up our game. But real quick, Matt asked a great question in the Discord. I'm going to paraphrase this. Matt, clarify if I say this wrong, but I think the gist is when you guys are thinking in your mind when you play a new course, how you mentally are rating that course. I guess, out of 5, out of 10, whatever. What specific things are you looking for and what most majorly contributes to that in your mind?
Anybody?
Clean fairway lines. Foliage that isn't absolutely taking over all of the lines you can throw in. Tee signs, tee pads, type of baskets they have, and the nature aesthetics, and I guess difficulty at that point. So that's
did anybody mention that Tyler is a golfer?
I don't think we've said that yet.
There's episode. No reason to bring that up.
There is, because you are focused on so much.
I'm just saying, like you asked about all the things I think about. Those are all things I definitely think about.
I'm just saying that's a lot.
Okay, let me ask a follow-up question. You go to a course, it has the nicest tee pads, nicest tee signs, and nicest baskets, and clean fairways, but is relatively like the lines are relatively dog water, not fun shots. What is that rate for you? If it has all of those nice things, but it has terrible lines and just not fun holes, what do you rate that course?
Define terrible lines.
Barely existent, or maybe every single thing is just a
so just more difficult.
No, there's a difference between barely existent lines and tough lines.
Yeah, I would say I like, for me, I love the course that's local to me. There's some holes on the back nine that are just plain old bad holes. Like one of them is a forehand roller off the tee for me. It's like a literal, it's shaped like a question mark, and it's just not a good hole.
Yeah, so that's my question. If you're thinking that, what's the course can rate where there's not really a lot put into design, but everything else is nice about it?
For me, if I had to choose 3 things, it's going to be tee pads, tee signs, and those are the 2 most important things for me, honestly. Other than that, I'm playing the course. I just want to be able to throw off good tee pads. Maybe a good basket would be nice, but I don't know. I want it to have good variety of holes. That's honestly what it is. Good variety of holes. Yeah. I don't want to feel like I'm throwing the same shot every hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll throw. I will. I don't really care about baskets that much as long as they can catch a disc relatively.
Yeah,
that's fine. Tee pads are really nice. I don't even care about tee signs that much if U-disc is well put together for the course. The big thing for me is just like well cut fairways and like relatively well groomed fairways, which is saying something from a guy who has none of those in his area and plays 3 times a week. But
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyler said he doesn't want to throw the same shot. What if it was a course wide open, just basically field disc golf, but on the tee pad, it told you what type of throw you had to throw? So this is a forehand hole. This is a backhand hole.
It would be different and interesting.
I'm just saying, like, there's ways of making it to where you're not throwing the same shot over and over. And honestly, it's just get better.
Yeah, but I wanted to challenge like different lines, though.
Yeah, I agree. So,
it's literally telling you what line to throw.
Here's my reference. Let me add in my reference here.
It's so weird. Come on.
Yeah, that's a zesty. That's a slightly weird thing. But here's my reference. I played a course that Beth played in 2019. It was an A tier. Really nice course.
Cookie?
Yes.
Me?
I would love one.
What is this freak doing right now?
Because you played the same course as Paul Macbeth. Do you want to?
No. I'm saying I watched coverage of that course, and then I went and played that course, and it was not well groomed, and so every line was existent, but unhittable with like at all. And so I could see what was an amazing course, and I didn't know how to rate that because I'm like in my head, I needed to throw a hyzer flip mid-range within 270 feet that flipped up to flat, fully turned 10 feet, and then came back. Like all in this tight window. I should have taken a picture of some of the holes. And I was saying, how do you rate that? You see the potential that a course has, but how many points do I take it down for not being groomed well, or for being the only guy that's played it in the last year, apparently?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's obvious. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No, in all honesty, I rate a course off of, did I have fun? Would I go back?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's as simple as it is. Overall, did I have fun? Would I go back? And I think 99% of the time I would. Now, in that case where you did see the layout and it was nice, and then when you went, it wasn't groomed, you already have a comparison. So you would rate that a lot lower. But if you never saw that course and you played it without knowing that there was ever any like grooming of the fairways and lines and everything, would you have had fun?
No, I'm not saying I didn't have fun. I would have still had fun, but it was just like bunch of the well groomed essentially made every hole like a tweener in between a par 3 and a par 4.
Okay.
So that was the only add-on. To be clear, I had fun. Fun course, cool course. Just saw what it had been, and it wasn't there now. But no, if your rating is you only do it based on did you have fun and that, then that's fine. Taylor, if you had to, are you opting tee pads into your list or not?
No, I was going to say it's funny. I like tee pads, baskets. I genuinely do not care. The biggest things for me, like I'll say course design in general, like to Tyler's point, like just that the holes are cohesive. Like there's a line to throw and it's at least decent. Signage, not in like a T sign way, but like, it's really annoying if I have to use UDisc to figure out where the next hole is. Like at least some sort of like small direction on where to go, like course layout wise. Those are my big things. If it has like a bathroom and a water fountain, that's nice. I'll always take that as a dub, but take what you can get.
Yeah.
Especially out by you.
Yeah.
Facts.
I'll opt to the same thing. The only thing I really care about as far as like I don't care about baskets. I would like a flat teeing area, but I'm also a guy who would it could be dirt as long as it's flat. I'm happy. So
I'm picky about tee pad because I have a knee I've had knee injuries, so that stuff matters to me.
Yeah, I would probably say I'm picky about flat areas for a similar reason. So
yeah, I mean I'd definitely rather not like tee off on like carpet or gravel or something, but I definitely not as big on my list for sure. All right, with that, I've got our game prepared. So I'm going to pull over a little Excel I made for you guys' guesses. We've done a game like this before if you're an avid listener of Unfinished Business, but shout out to our sponsor, FoundationDiscs.com. They have been putting out a little bit of a sales report, not the exact sales, but what discs are selling the best for them. This is for the first half of 2024, and it is a top 50. So how's this going to work? We're going to have each of our members take a guess on a specific disc, what they think, where it's going to rank. You really want... Basically, you'll get an equal amount of points of where that disc is landing on the list. So if you pick the number one bestseller, you get 1 point. The goal is to have as low points as possible. And if you guess a disc that is not on the list, then you get, we'll say one after the most recent. So 51 to start and then 52. So you really do not want to guess one of these that is not on the list. Should be simple enough. I think we've got some interesting discs on here. We have sworn to secrecy that these folks have not looked at this list previously.
Am I allowed to look on the screen now, or should I turn this off?
You can look on the screen now because it's just the scoring. So I'm not actually going to pull up the list because I'm lazy. Also, Corey, stop DMing me on Discord. You're scaring me. I'm getting a lot of sounds in my ears. How would you guys like to decide who goes first?
I don't know.
A Yu-Gi-Oh duel.
Yu-Gi-Oh duel. I'm gonna say it's gonna go Tyler, Matt, Corey.
Done.
There it is.
Okay.
So Tyler, you get first dibs, first guess on top 50 sellers from FoundationDisc.com.
Are we still allowed to look at the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, screen ain't changing. Hopefully.
All right. Hopefully.
I'm gonna go. I'm trying to think what ones have been hot lately.
Yeah, just to reiterate again, I know we've had some confusion on timing before. This is for the first half of 2024.
Oh, first half of 2024.
So through, I think, July 30th.
Are we
Came
going
out on
plastic
July
or just
30th.
disc?
Just disc. Great question.
Okay.
Great
I'll go
question.
Destroyer.
All right, so we've got the Destroyer. I cannot type. Nobody look at the screen. Let's see here. It is number 6.
Not bad.
Solid start. Solid start.
All right. Give me the
Matt looks.
zone. I did not look.
Matt looked.
Chat.
Matt looked.
Chat, I did not look. Give me the zone.
Zone. Always a good one. Why is that taking up so much screen? Zone is number 2. It's another great start here. Corey's actively looking right now. You can see it.
No. I've got 2 options, but I think I'm going to go time lapse.
Solid. Solid. Basically a Destroyer, and it's really close to the Destroyer. It is number 7.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Best start we've had yet by far. Nobody's
I
out of
know.
it yet in the first round, which is absolutely impeccable. I did have this down as 3 rounds, so 3 guesses. Just to let you guys know. But we are back to Tyler.
Trying to think of some new guys that have come out at all this year. I'm gonna go. Really should have thought about this a little bit. I'm gonna go the Wild Honey.
I like that.
Interesting.
I like
Very
that. A little
interesting.
outside the box. Unfortunately, the Wild Honey is not on the list. So that's
Well,
gonna
I'm gone.
Be, it's
Peace.
gonna be
I'm
a
outta here,
51
boys.
burger dropped on the noggin. That's unfortunate.
Wow.
Give me the Hex. I just have to assume that it's been selling well, considering all MVP does.
Yeah, I think the tough part with MVP, I know Foundation mentions this a lot, but this is, I think all real retailers struggle with keeping MVP and Axiom molds in stock. But it is number 42, so it is on the list, but it is not super high on the list. And I would,
All right.
I would chalk a lot of that up to just the stock available to them. So Corey could make a move here for sure.
I'm going to go Kratos.
Oh,
Kratos
wow, that's a good
is
one.
one
That's
that
a good
definitely
one.
surprised me. Kratos is number 4.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Corey's
yeah,
gonna
so-
crush.
Commanding
What a goated
lead
one by
at this
Corey.
point.
Tough.
Really doesn't matter what I say at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, send one. Take
I
off
still
number
like
1
hearing
real
your
quick.
voice, though.
Corey,
Take off
what
number 1 real
finish
quick.
line? What finish line disc do you like?
Probably the composite torque.
Cool, the Supra.
Yeah, this is
Bro, he's
another
loving
one.
that.
This is another one that I think will surprise a lot of people. The Supra was number 1 on the list. With
crap.
Trevor
you mean
Staub having
Trevor's
the
disc?
signature disc. Yeah, it's
Oh,
number 1 on
that's
the
a
list.
thought. I didn't think about that.
That's actually
Yeah, I didn't
insane.
know how much stock they actually had of those, but it sounds like a pretty decent amount. Solid payday over to Trevor, I guess. Way to go, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens, dude.
Give me.
So honestly, with that, Tyler, if Corey doesn't get a good one here, you're kind of back in it.
chilling.
I'd say you're right
I
back
don't
in
know,
there.
man. I don't know. 51. Get out of here.
I got a good one.
52.
Give me the Buzz. I don't think it's that high, but we're just gonna hope
Buzz.
that people buy Buzzes.
A classic. Buzz is number 3.
Matt's got
Okay.
it.
All right.
We got some really good guesses in here, just mixed in with some stinkers.
Hate a stinker.
Is it me?
It is Corey. Yeah, this basically for all the marbles here. A good guess here wraps her up.
Well, banking off of Tyler's guess, I'm going to go Conman Sean Man.
Oh no.
This could be questionable.
This
Let's
could be
see.
questionable.
I don't see it off rip.
Oh no.
The shaman is not on the list.
Oh no.
Oh, because it was
So-
the second half of the year.
So that's a 52 on Corey's head. So Matt clutches up right now. Matt's clutching up with 2, 3, and 42. That was a roller coaster. Oceans there.
Holy crap.
You can't go zone buzz every time we do this.
Bro, if it works.
Works, it works.
Tyler, you were ahead of me. You could have taken either of those, buddy.
Yeah, but I want to make it fun and interesting. I don't want to say like the
Bro,
same ones over and over again.
I'd be taking too many L's.
Like
dude.
I know
gotta
the Wizard's probably top 10. I could have said Wizard.
Wizards
I
8.
probably could have said the Passion is probably top 10 because it's always
Passion's
the Passion.
5.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's just not
Tyler's
fun.
just flexing after he loses that he could have won.
Yeah.
You gotta respect that. I usually, after we're done with this, read the list. I really don't want to just read 50 disc names. So
Well, here, let me do
I'm
that.
gonna-
Read the top 10.
Let me
10.
hold on. I'm on fire. Let me see if I can get the top 10. So
Okay, here we go.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 off the board, right?
Right. You
And then
got
I
you
said-
got Passion at 5, and you have Destroyer
Okay.
at 6. We have that as well.
Okay.
Time
and
lapse
time
is
lapse
7.
is 7.
Time lapse is
And I
7.
said
And you
the
said
Wizard.
which is 8.
So
So you
there's
got
2
2
left.
more. Yeah, 2 more to get.
Okay, I'm thinking Brody's Zone OS.
Zone OS is 10. If
Alright,
you
so we
get
need to get
9, I will
9.
be very. If you get 9, I
will
will
be
think that you have
surprised.
looked at the list.
You want to give me a little hint or no?
I'm going to guess.
I'll give you a hint after. I'm gonna let you try to rip one off, and then I'll give you a hint after.
I'm trying to think.
Because I will
Okay,
be
here.
very impressed.
All right, give me this hint. What is it? A mid-range, fairway, or distance driver or putter?
Is a fairway driver.
What is the most popular fairway driver?
Berg.
Got it.
I'm gonna go. This was a popular one, and they came out with a new plastic for it. I'm gonna say Crave.
This guy looked at the list. I don't believe it.
Did I really get it?
And it's Crave's 9.
That's
See,
actually.
this is what I'm saying, Matt. Like
Tyler
I could
threw
have done
because
this.
he cheated.
I
Man.
could have
I
done
don't
this.
believe it. I don't believe it.
Chef it up then, bro.
He's chefing. I'll also put the link in the chat, but yeah, I'm not gonna read all these.
Yeah, too many to read.
hate
But
to
cool
tell
to
you.
get those reports every year or every couple months. So
Trying to see if there's anything up here that's just like crazy that I wouldn't expect. I feel like the Tesla is kind of high, but I guess Simon had a run
go-
of those. I think Tesla was
Let me go.
23.
Let me go find the list.
Yeah, the hummingbird one.
yeah,
All right, with that, I'll just keep Excel open. We're gonna go right into picks. Corey did make some motion happen, but Corey, you still also will set the order here for Idlewild, and I'm gonna pull up who is playing this event.
Yeah, I got to figure that out too. Italy Whittly. We're gonna go.
No, Paul is not playing. I know that much. Ricky signed up.
He
Off
says
a
he's gonna
shoulder
be
injury?
there. I think.
Simon signed up.
We're gonna go me, Taylor, Matt, Tyler.
All right, hold on a second. I gotta might change the list too.
All right.
all right.
Alrighty. Lead us off then, fearless leader.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Go with your money bags.
I'm gonna go with Calvin.
You're just gonna give Taylor a game.
I don't like that because I don't want to pick Gannon, but I kind of have to pick Gannon,
You
so I'm
have
picking
to.
Gannon.
Yeah, that's crazy not to.
Or you could have given it to Matt because no. If you would have skipped on Gannon, Matt would have been like, "Give me AB."
He definitely would not have picked
yeah.
Gannon.
I'm
Like, just-
looking for the biscuit. Give me
AB.
give me Ezra Robinson.
Dang, that was gonna be my pick.
Dude, I played. Listen, me and Corey played this course
okay.
like what, a month ago. month and a half ago.
Something like that.
Every time I watch it, I forget the amount of like wooded holes or really specific shot shapes that it requires.
Matt, you done messed up. You didn't take the Waisaki. Come on, bro.
Man, he's shoulder injured.
He's
Bro
hurt,
doesn't know a
he's
knick-knack
hurt.
from a paddywhack right now.
He's
bro.
a shoulder lizard. What did you just say?
I knew Taylor.
Man,
would
he's
like that
shoulder
one.
I
lizard.
loved that, bro.
I know. I knew Taylor
loved
would.
that one.
You know what? Hold on.
That's crazy.
How do we
Put
still
him
have a
back on.
poll roll? How do we still have a poll running on our YouTube right now?
You know, I'm just gonna let that thing rock, man.
All right. We're going Ricky Waisaki, pick number 1.
Got back-to-backs here.
And then this guy is trending really hard right now. He's won there before, Isaac Robinson.
Yeah, I thought about Isaac too. I like his brother a little better right now, but I respect it.
All right, back to young Matt.
All right, it's back to me. He took Isaac. Give me. That's tough. Give me.
Take Culver Dolan or Matty O. Come on now.
Just stick to the
Matteo's-
script here. Stick to
Matteo's
the
good
script.
in the woods here. Actually, give me Kevin Jones.
God dang you.
Dude, listen,
Why would you take him so early?
This is the most structured pick list here I have. All I feel like I threw was Heiser flips, and
Yeah, but you just plagued him right now.
Hey, man.
I'm sticking to
Amen.
Matt's script better than him. I'm gonna take Kyle Klein.
Forgot about
Kyle
Kyle, but
Klein's got a good
I don't
chance
like
here.
the expression
Yeah,
on his face in the last
I
3 release
think
cards.
redemption is coming.
If
for
Kyle can be in first through the first 2 rounds, then I've got some leeway for the last round for him to drop to hopefully third and get me a point.
That's straight logic.
That's what we're
Nothing else in
thinking.
there.
Doesn't putt with him anymore, but what we're trying to work with.
Yeah.
Back-to-backs for the cream dog.
I'm gonna go Chris Dickerson.
He's still hoping on Chris Dickey.
See, Dick.
And to be honest, Aaron Gossage isn't playing apparently, so that's a little weird.
It's a little tragic.
Who does he even else? Who else does he have to pick even at that point? Just leave it blank for him.
Yeah, just leave it blank. It'll be all right.
Maybe Aaron will log in.
You know
last
what?
minute.
I'm gonna have my faith against Tyler. I'm going Simon.
Okay.
Wait,
Little
Simon. Oh, yeah, he is.
Simon Lizard.
Simon Lasagna.
Leads to the question of who do I want to take? You know, it's been a little bit since he's popped up. I'm going to take Gavin Rathbun.
I like that.
I thought about it
That's a
as
good
well.
one.
I feel like broken
Cool
shred
down a little
woods,
bit, but yeah, I feel like he could come back here.
Yeah, Scott, you're right. There are a few guys skipping practice worlds or other stuff. Like Paul's not
Yeah.
going to be there, but he's skipping to have Pablo do some check-ins and head to worlds. Other people like that, but
Matt, AB's still out there, bro.
man, AB on a wooded
Maybe in
course.
the woods.
AB shredded that
I'm
one
cooked.
course that was woodsy.
He can probably throw his
Yeah,
Luna
he can.
every
He
basket.
can beat
so-
all of the FPO with a Luna.
Well, he's not playing in the FPO. So I'm
Isn't that
not-
domestic violence? Goodness.
Yeah, dude.
Can somebody tell me I'm looking for my dark horse and Chris Clemens is rated 28 in the world right now?
Oh,
Can
wow.
somebody fact check this list, man?
Yeah, let's.
I mean, Vino's 29.
Surfing butthole.
Give me this. No, I'm not that dumb,
Sorry, guys. Cough is bad.
but I was almost that dumb.
So are the goggles.
I know.
Yeah,
Come on, Matt.
I'm thinking, man. I'm
already
Audio
know who
thinking.
I
listeners are
want.
struggling right now.
I already
man.
know who I
Corey, you got
want.
a story to tell real quick for the audio listeners?
Yeah. This is my bad, folks. This is my bad.
Yeah, so I have a buddy who
Mattio.
watches. I have a buddy
Gosh,
who watches
dang
your
it.
videos,
I don't even know
Taylor.
who I want now.
No way. Somebody watches my videos.
Yeah. I got a buddy who watches your videos. And remember that video where you bought those used discs?
I didn't buy them, but
Or you played with
yeah,
him?
I did play with them.
He was such a big fan that he actually bought one of them.
No way.
What a nice
Yeah.
fellow.
Which
Yeah.
one?
I don't know. Which one was it, Matt?
Oh, it was the Eagle, man. It was so good. I had to make a purchase.
Did he really buy it?
Bro, that's insane.
Matt is the one that bought it.
Man.
You can't see through the goggles. Yeah, I bought it, and I threw
Wait.
it today. And it's sick, dude. It's not even
That thing's
like,
sick.
It is sick. Even for my arm speed is sick. Like ever so slight flexes to like finish flat or like come back a little bit is actually goated.
Taylor, did you know he bought it?
I knew somebody bought it, but I didn't know who bought it. That's
That is
wild.
hilarious.
That's so funny.
I love those dyed discs, and I saw you throw it
Oh,
like 4
fly
times. I was
dice.
like, and I'll be honest, it's probably going in the bag and replacing my torque.
Get
because-
wrecked, Corey.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Get
Corey's
wrecked.
torque. I actually don't know where Corey's torque is, but I bought one, so that's all.
So
that
I'm gonna do something a little interesting here. I'm gonna go.
I'm interested. Does it have
I'm
to
gonna
do with
go-
your golf background?
Nope. I'm gonna go Nico Lacastro as my last pick.
Holy crap.
That's interesting.
Bro, that
because-
brain that's cutting off circulation to his brain. Can't help my
Because I'm gonna go Matt Bell as my dark horse.
I was thinking about that as well.
okay.
So Nico Lacastro last year at this event finished in the top 10.
Cool.
Love to hear. Love to hear it for Nico.
So I'm hoping.
Crazy move, but okay. Give me Austin Turner. Nope, Calvin Longquist.
Our
Both
guy
of
Calvin Long.
People who I normally pick and I have faith in, I don't pick them, and they both do pretty well this weekend. So that one hurt a little bit, but
I was sad at first because I was gonna pick Austin Turner, and now I can still pick him, not look for somebody else. So I'm very happy. All right, Corey, round us out here with the last dark horse.
Yeah. I was also going to pick Austin Turner.
You getting the tingle?
Bro, the best thing will be when somebody starts popping off and they, because the like official world rankings use data from the last 2 years, they're just be stuck in like 70th and be dark horse eligible for like a year.
1 second. Let me make sure that he's playing. I'm going to go Jeremy Colling.
Yep.
crazy move, but we respect it.
Not crazy. He's
respect
played
that.
well there.
I mean, yeah.
The reason I was going to go Austin Turner is because I feel like there's a lot of holes that are lefty. And I feel like the same thing as lefty is a really good forehand.
You're right. No, I was thinking the exact same thing, Corey. That's like why I almost took him.
I want someone
there's
else
like
other
half.
than Nico, but it's too late. Oh well.
Yeah, it's too late.
Well, now that we've all picked, I wanted Andrew Marweed, and
I thought about that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also thought about him.
That too.
But
All right, well, there's our picks. I'm just read them off real quick. Corey's got Calvin, Chris Dickerson, Simon Lizotte, and Jeremy Colling. That might be up there this time for the oldest team. I definitely had the oldest team last time. I've got Gannon, Kyle Klein, Gavin Rathbun, and Austin Turner. Matt's got Ezra Robinson, Kevin Jones, Matty O, and Calvin Longquist. Tyler has got Ricky, Isaac Robinson, Nico Lacastro, and Matt Bell. Those are the guys we're going to be watching out for during Idlewild, taking it in this weekend. But with that, we'll close out the show. Once again, thank you, honestly, to you guys. Thank you to Scott. Thank you for, Matt, Tyler, and Corey coming on here, just talking about disc golf every week. Thanks to FoundationDisc.com for helping us put this podcast together. If you need anything disc golf related, head over there and grab it. And otherwise, we will we'll recap Idlewild next Tuesday. One day we'll move to Wednesdays, but we'll be back next Tuesday at 7:15 Central. Tell Corey you love him in his comments of his new video today.
KJ USA, let's go, baby.